After your gold trip is ended and you've returned home, it's time to do the cleanup. So in our case, we're going to be using the blue bowl. This little guy is a centrifugal gravity separation device. But most importantly, you must screen your concentrate. Now, I don't have the concentrate unscreened. I've already screened it. I kind of skipped a step on you guys. But we got 3 screens here. We got a 60 mesh. So 60 means 60 divisions per square inch. So that is the coarsest material. We're going to take the coarsest material and put it in first. If you put the finest material in first and the coarsest in last, you'd end up blowing it out, because to lift heavier particles, you need to increase the water flow speed, and the higher the flow speed, the more it can move. So you start with the heavy stuff and you reduce the flow speed as you move through the process. So we're going to turn on the pump and we're going to start putting some of our concentrate in here, and we're going to see how the gold is separated from the black sand. And at the end of this process, we'll have basically pure gold. Okay, let's get started. Okay, you can probably hear that. That's the pump. It's a little 12-volt electric. I have it powered with a battery cube. You can use 120 volt, but I've heard stories about voltage fluctuations causing differences in pump speed, which tends to be detrimental. So anyways, we're using a constant source DC current 12-volt battery. I think our water flow is a little too high, so I'm going to reduce it. The way you control water flow is this little valve here. So I would recommend using jet dry or comparable. Jet dry is good because it doesn't create many bubbles or suds. If you don't break the surface tension, you can float gold. And with this device, you will float the gold right out of the pan. Okay, I haven't yet added the jet dry. I just want to show you how gold floats. We might see some of that here. Tell you what, let me turn off the pump. I don't want to lose gold. So the water, as you can see, it crests this little lip here and goes down the center. That's how the process works. It spins around, the black sand climbs up and falls in the hole. In this case, it's just water. So we're going to put some black sand in. You can see it's sinking pretty good. You can see some stuff floating on the surface. I don't see any gold there. Well, we do have some floating particulates. Can't tell you what they are. I doubt the video is going to help you guys tell me what they are. Okay, so we have our coarsest material in. This came through the 60 screen. This is the 80 screen. So this is everything that's smaller than 60, but bigger than 80 gradation. Now we're going to add some of the magic serum, the jet dry. How much to add is a good question, but we'll start with that, see what happens. Okay, the pump is on. The water's moving, but really slowly, so we need some more speed. So it'll go round and round, and at some point the black sand will start to move and start climbing. I think we need a little more speed here. Ooh, that's a lot of speed. So it's kind of a touchy-feely process. Okay, you can see stuff segregating. You can see the stuff starting to move. It'll come from the outside and work its way towards the inside, and then it'll start climbing up. So it's stripping off lighter, that's the blonde you're seeing. So that was still sand. The dark stuff's the heavies, the magnetite, the sulfides, the whatever manganese minerals. But the lighter stuff, that's the blonde sand. That's just basic miniature gravel or miniature sand. That's already been moved to the center. It's slowly climbing up. You can't really see it climbing, but it is, and over time you'll just see this disappear. Maybe we should do a time lapse on this. So as the pump cycles up, you can see the sand starting to move on the bottom of the bowl, especially right in this area right here. And now the sand is climbing the cone. On the backside you can see it swirling around. So you can see it's doing a number on the black sand. It's rapidly dissipating. You can see it just running away right there. This is one of the bigger pieces of gold. A lot of gold at the base of the cone. I think our water flow is a little high. I'm going to reduce it. So the way you reduce the water flow is this little valve right here. So the pump is there, water moves through here, the valve, and then it comes into the bowl through the side port right here, which creates the circular motion. So this whole placer gold thing, how does it really work? Well, it's all about density. So we're going to go through this real quickly here, guys. So this is water. It's got a specific gravity of 1 gram per cubic centimeter. These guys here, this is gravel. This is what you call blonde out in the field. And believe it or not, it's only got a specific gravity of 2.1. It's only twice as dense as water. That's really hard to believe. How about the black sand you find so much of? The black sand is mainly magnetite and hematite and other iron and or manganese minerals. It's got a specific density of about 5.1. And then we get the galena, lead ore. Lead ore in the field or in the wild won't look as pretty as that, but it'll be little pieces. And it's got a density of 7.4. Silver is up here at 10.5. So you will find silver and gold together. And then lead, I don't have any lead, so we're going to cheat there. 11.4 on pure refined lead. So you refine this guy, you end up with that guy. How about gold? He's up here at 19.3. He's 19.3 times heavier than water. It's an amazing difference. It's an amazing difference between gold and all of his cousins here. And platinum is at 21.5. So as you can see, the specific gravity, there's such a range here, and gold is so dense that it wants to stay, it wants to sink and sit on the bottom. So the energy required to pull this away, that is much, much less than this. So this will sit around while these guys get stripped away. Step 1's basically done. The black sand has been stripped away, and those shiny specks on the bottom, that is gold. So most of it is at the base of the cone where you would expect it. Some of them are out here. The fact that a few flakes of gold are this far from the base of the cone shows you that even with this velocity of water flow, this amount of centrifugal force is still not enough to drag them from where they are to the base. So you can see a few little flakes around the bottom. Not much, but if you're trying to get every last piece you found in the field, this is the ticket. It's a whole lot easier than panning, that's for sure. Now that we're done with step 1, we're going to move to step 2. Step 2 is finer material, so we're going to reduce the flow rate, but basically repeat the process. And then there's step 3. So it's a 3-step process based on the amount of sieves I'm using. If you had fewer sieves, it'd be fewer steps, but I think this is a pretty good setup.